تظاهرات نه به روحانی در نیویورک علیه حضور رئیس جمهور فاشیسم دینی در مجمع عمومی در سالگرد در هم شکستن لیست‌گذاری و برچسب ارتجاعی استعماری، پیروزی تاریخی مقاومت و ارتش آزادی بخش ملی.
Thank you. I'm going to read a letter from Chairman Ed Royce. It was written today on September 28th for the President of the United States. Dear Mr. President, I am writing to urge you to sanction senior Iranian officials for serious human rights abuses against the people of Iran. Mr. President, these significant ongoing human rights abuses have all taken place during the Rouhani administration. But this is not new. Human rights abuse has been a constant policy of the Iranian regime since it took control. This long-standing brutality has been carried out by some officials who still hold power today. For example, Iran's current justice minister is widely accused of playing a key role in the continuing suppression of dissidents today, as well as the mass executions of the late 1980s. U.S. law is clear. If an Iranian government official is responsible complacent with, is responsible for ordering, controlling, or otherwise directing the commission of serious human rights abuses against citizens of Iran, they should be sanctioned, their assets blocked, their bank accounts frozen, and travel to the U.S. prohibited. I urge you to make the decisions necessary to apply these sanctions. Designating and sanctioning Iranian officials, including senior members of the Rouhani administration, for their role in human rights abuses will remind the people of Iran that the American people are on their side, not on the side of the brutal Iranian regime. Thank you.
I have a statement from Representative Elliot Engels, the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee. As the deal with Iran is implemented, we must not forget the Iranian people. This regime has remained in power through the autocratic rule of its theocracy, and the Iranian people deserve better. We need to move to crack down on human rights abusers and stand with those working towards a freer and more inclusive future of Iran. Despite the nuclear deal going forward, we must continue pressing Iran to change course on human rights and to free wrongly held Americans. Thank you.
درود بر شما، خسته نباشید. واقعا وقتی شما رو میبینم افتخار میکنم که ایرانیم، چون شما نمادگان راستین قهرمانان ملی ما هستید از بدو تاریخ ایران تا حالا، و واقعا در این 36 سال ساکت نشستیم. درود بر شما. همه با هم شعار بدیم: مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه.
زنده باد ارتش آزادی. مرگ بر اصل ولایت فقیه. زنده باد ارتش آزادی.
به نام ایران و به نام آزادی. هم میهنان عزیز، امروز آخوند روحانی شیاد با کارنامه 2000 اعدام در 2 سال در نشست مجمع عمومی ملل متحد شرکت می کند. او رژیم جنایتکار آخوندها به هیچ وجه مردم ایران را نمایندگی نمی کند. او فقط نماینده دولتی است که در 36 سال گذشته به قتل و غارت مردم مظلوم ایران و بی‌حرمتی به ناموس آنها پرداخته. اموال آنها را به یغما برده و میلیاردها دلار سرمایه‌های ملیشان را صرف نهادهای سرکوبگر صدور تروریسم و برنامه اتمی و دخالت و حمایت از دیکتاتورها در عراق و سوریه کرده است. روحانی و ولی فقیه‌اش خامنه‌ای نه تنها قاتل مردم ایران بلکه نابود کننده جنگل‌ها، دریاچه‌ها و رودخانه‌ها و دشت‌های ایران هم هست. آنها دارند یک کشور ثروتمند را به نابودی می‌کشانند. سالیانه 180,000 نفر افراد تحصیل کرده از ایران فرار می‌کنند و به خارج از ایران می‌آیند. این رژیم مسبب سیاه روزی، فقر همه مردم ایران و ویرانی ایران است و همچنین کشتار مردم ایران را بی حد و حساب کرده است. این رژیم قاتل مردم سوریه و عراق و یمن هم هست. ما هر گونه چشم پوشی ملل متحد و قدرت‌های بزرگ از نقض حقوق بشر در ایران را به شدت محکوم می‌کنیم. ما از جامعه جهانی خواهان یک اقدام عملی و جدی برای توقف اعدام‌های گسترده و خودسرانه هستیم و می‌خواهیم سران این رژیم جنایتکار را به خاطر کشتار مردم ایران و افزایش هول‌انگیز اعدام‌ها تحت شدیدترین محکومیت‌ها قرار دهند. ما خواستار اقدام بیدرنگ شورای امنیت ملل متحد و بازدید گزارشگر ویژه حقوق بشر از زندانهای خامنه‌ای هستیم. هم میهنان گرامی، مردم ما در داخل ایران واقعا زیر شدیدترین فشارها هستند و ما در خارج از ایران باید صدای مظلومیت هم‌میهنانمون در داخل باشیم. استقلال و آزادی زحمت و انرژی و اراده و استواری زیادی می‌طلبد که شما مردم ایران طی سالها با نثار جان و مال و تحمل آوارگی و ساکت نشدن در برابر رژیم انجام داده اید. این حرکت را باید تا براندازی کامل این جانیان ادامه دهیم. ما باید کمر همت ببندیم و دست در دست هم برای جامعه متمدن و ایجاد یک جمهوری مبتنی بر جدایی دین از دولت این جانیان را از بین ببریم و با نجات مردم مملکتی بسازیم که همه با شادی و سربلندی در آن زندگی کنند. شک نکنید، ما پیروزیم، چون در سمت تکامل تاریخ قرار داریم. ما پیروزیم چون آینده از آن ماست. ما پیروزیم چون سرنوشت تاریخیمان حکم می‌کند. ما پیروزیم چون مبارزه می‌کنیم و تا مبارزه هست پیروزی هم هست. بیشک این مبارزه و مقاومت ادامه خواهد داشت تا پیروزی انسانیت بر بربریت. متشکرم از شما.
دوستان سلام، بسیار خوشوقت هستم که این فرصت رو پیدا کردم که چند دقیقه در خدمتتون باشم. قبل از هر چیز سلام دارم و سر تعظیم فرود میارم به اشرفیان قهرمانی که الان در کمپ لیبرتی و اقصانقاط جهان کماکان دارن صفحات پر افتخار تاریخ ایران رو رقم میزنن. اونها استادان واقعی همه ما هستن، استادان و دانشمندان آزادی خواهی. الان بیشتر از 3 دهه هست، شاید نزدیک به 35 سال که اینجا جمع میشیم تا فریاد ملت ایران رو به گوش جهانیان برسونیم، تا به دنیا بگیم که یک مشت قاتل، جانی، دجال، دروغگو، شکنجهگر و دزدان ثروت ملت ایران نمایندگان ایرانی ها نیستند. نمیدونم چند سال دیگه باید بیایم اینجا، ولی میدونم که تا وقتی که میایم اینجا یعنی پرچم شرافت ایرانیا برافراشته است. یعنی اینکه حضور شما اینجا سمبل انکارناپذیر ادامه مقاومت و ادامه پر افتخار نمایندگان واقعی ایران هست. موفق باشید.
Dear brothers and sisters, on behalf of the Syrian revolution, I will thank our brother and the opponents, Iranian opponents, for great support and to be in one hand, shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, to claim our victory. Dear brothers and sisters, we are here to express our pain about what's going on in the international society. Bashar al-Assad and the mullahs of Iran have demonstrated for decades now their enmity toward the very essence of life by killing and hanging their own people from the tall cranes. The Assad regime is another ruthless, gives us glimpses of their sick and evil mentalities. His dictator who till the days is dropping indiscriminate bombs called barrel of 200 kilograms of dynamite. They kill our children, they kill pregnant women without any fear of any consequences by any administration in the world, including the American administration. Do you know how? Do you know why? Because 5 years of non-stop killing using every kind of prohibited weapons did not produce any real punishment. But their ambition don't stop at their border, they create. Sponsor and support terrorist groups such as ISIS and Hezbollah. Both are created by mullahs and by Assad. We are here, hand by hand, as I said, to be together to the end, to claim our victory and to claim our freedom. Now, excuse me just 1 minute, Dr. Mohammed Khawam, he has to express 5-point item before, we leave the stage.
آزادی شمع، آزادی ماست. بروزی شمع، بروزی ماست. Dear brother, dear sister, dear friend, dear history, family, Iranian, our family in the history. We are here to protest the presence of the killers in the United Nations behind us, who's supposed to be a peaceful organization and looking for the peace and the well-being of the humanity. Now they're hosting two killers, the Syrian regime, the Iranian regime. They should be kicked out as soon as possible. Rouhani out, Syrian regime out of the United Nations. Repeat that. They should be out and out now. Azadi, Azadi for Irani and Sunni. Let the United Nations that there is a human being are suffering in Syria. I think somebody has to listen, somebody has to have the heart, somebody has to have the conscience to help those people who are flooding and leaving the barrel and the airplane bombarding. Finally, this revolution, the Syrian revolution, is going to its victory. Definitely, no doubt about it. No matter what, free Syria, free Syria, free Syria. No matter if Rouhani said, that Assad is accepted by the International Committee. He is a liar, he is manipulative. We hate him and we should take him out. Wassalamu alaikum.
God bless you all. I'm here on behalf of the 1,200 plus interfaith members of the New York State Chaplain Task Force. And I've come here today to let you know that the Iranian people are not alone, that we have not forgotten them, and nor will we ever forget them. I stand here today because all lives matter. I stand here today to denounce the Rouhani regime. As human beings, how can we sit idly by as thousands of Iranians continue to be oppressed by the Rouhani regime? My heart aches when I think of all those who have been maimed and lynched, falsely imprisoned and killed by Rouhani and his regime. So how can we even think of making a deal with a regime who believes in suppressing the freedom of its people? And how can we make a deal with a regime who will do anything to get their hands on a nuclear bomb? If you want to make a deal, let's make a deal with the National Council of Resistance of Iran. Let's make a deal with Madam Mariam Rajavi. That's who we should be making a deal with. If the Iranian people were to be given the opportunity to hold free elections tomorrow, the next president of Iran would not be Rouhani, it would be Madam Mariam Rajavi. The Rouhani regime continues to use threats and imprisonment and public executions as a means to silence the moral majority in Iran. This regime continues to execute an average of 70 prisoners per month. Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan for the future of Iran would stop public executions. It would give prisoners a fair trial, would allow for freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of religion. Rouhani's regime continues to oppress women and continues their assault on women's rights by closing down women's institutions in Iran. Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan for the future of Iran would include equal rights for women and a commitment to universal declaration of human rights. Rouhani says that his administration is moderate, but his cabinet is packed with hardened war and human rights criminals. Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan for the future of Iran includes a foreign policy based on a peaceful coexistence and cooperation with the rest of the free world. Who does Rouhani think he's fooling when everyone knows his administration's #1 goal is to get their hands on a nuclear bomb? Madam Rajavi's 10-point plan for the future of Iran promises a non-nuclear Iran, an Iran free of any weapons of mass destruction. If the U.S. and the other nations truly want to build a peaceful alliance, then they must say no to Rouhani and yes to Rajavi. call on my brothers and sisters of all faith backgrounds here and abroad to take a good look at all the facts. Number one, the problem faced by the Iranian people is not simply a religious issue. It's not simply a political issue. It is a human rights issue. Basic human rights are being withheld and violated on a daily basis. Number two, religious freedom is a God-given freedom. And no one or nothing has the right to suppress that freedom. And number three, lifting the sanctions and giving Rouhani's regime over $100 billion will not benefit the Iranian people in the least. I say that it will only serve to strengthen Rouhani's regime, helping him to continue his support of terrorist groups across the Middle East and across the rest of the free world. And it would only bring Rouhani's regime one step closer to a nuclear bomb. So I say, let's say no to Rouhani and yes to Rajavi, shall we?
No to Rouhani.
Yes to Rajavi. No to Rouhani. Yes to Rajavi. No to Rouhani. Yes to Rajavi. Thank you and God bless you.
I have an amazing imagination, but sometimes it's almost impossible for me to imagine what the people of Iran have gone through. When I consider the fact that you can be arrested as a juvenile, but when you come of age to be executed, when I consider what happens to women who could be stoned, or because somebody is an addict that they can be executed, it defies my imagination to know what it is like in a world like that. To know that at a place like this, that our pictures would be taken, and that we would be numbered among those who would be the suspect. To see that we would be those next on that list, to not be able to speak up, and to not be able to pray as we choose, but even to choose those who would cause us to pray in their religion, that even to accept that religion itself is still to risk death, is something that I can't even imagine. To imagine to live in a world where my students would be going to school seeing people hung and hanging in the presence is more than I can even comprehend. But I want to come today to point out to everybody and say to you that I appreciate the work that so many of the people here have been doing. To see how many of you have come from all over the world to make this day happen. To see what you have done in Paris to bring everybody together. I am saying to you today that I am proud to stand here with you and the Iranian people and the Iranian resistance. Because what you have done is to enkindle in all of us that sense of what it means to have a passion for justice and a heart of compassion for the Iranian people. So I want to applaud everybody who has come to make this happen. Continue this good work. Continue to bring what is they would love to do in the darkness into the light, so that we will all know, and indeed it will sometime happen, that there will be a new Iran, a free Iran. Yes, indeed. Rouhani, no. Rajavi, yes.
As we stand here in a state of solidarity in support of you, the people there in Camp Liberty, we've come together today to represent you in Camp Liberty as your voices around the world. We stand with you. We support you. We pray to Almighty God with you and on your behalf. We have come here today to denounce human rights as a situation that many have denied you of receiving. We have come here today to support you as a people. You have heard many speeches today. You have heard many things. But the thing that I think we need to deal with is the heart and the soul of each person that has gathered here today. We have come, my brothers and my sisters, as you look upon us, I hope that the cameras are spanning throughout this gathering, that you may see the faces, and through the face and through the eyes of the people who are present is a reflection of their heart, their commitment to freedom, to justice, and to equal rights for all. Rouhani regime must go. It must go because it's against the will of the people. We stand here today in faith as clergy from all over the world, the Christian community, and our fellow brothers who are now in prison and is scheduled to be hung or killed. We want you to know today that we stand with you. We stand with you in a spirit that is unbeatable, but we will not give up. We will not stop, but we stand with you all the way. God bless you.
Rouhani, no. Rajavi, yes. Down to Houthis, down to Saleh regime. We would like to bring to your attention and to send a clear message to the world community of nations at the United Nations that we truly have three axes of evil in the region. The mullahs of Iran, the Houthis and Saleh regime, and they need to be stopped from killing innocent people in our region. We come with a strong voice from the wounded country of Yemen, which is being blooded by the mercenaries of Iranian mullahs. We are here today to show our unity with your fearless and courageous resistance against a gang of thugs. The Iranian regimes have wrecked and massacred thousands of innocent people in both of our nations and destabilizing the region in our countries. However, our people, not unlike the people of Syria and Iran, are intent to throw these harmful terrorist system into the dust heap of history. We express our gratitude for the opportunity to demonstrate our mutual support along with all of you who assembled here today and to raise our voices against the criminal Hassan Rouhani, that he should leave the United Nations now and leave the seat at the UN belong to the people of Iran and its historic resistance led by Rajavi. Our country and our people and the entire people of the Middle East seek friendly and warm relation with the kind and decent Iranian people, and with one resounding voice to tell the mullahs we should send you to the dust heap of history. Once and for all, you don't belong to the community of nations. We will together bring about a spirit of peace, stability to our region. All these wars in Yemen, Iraq, Syria are of the make of the Iranian regimes. Those wars are not sectarian wars among Sunni and Shiite. And together we stand with all our brothers and sisters from different faiths against the Iranian mullahs, terrorism, and proxies wars. The blood-stained hand of the terrorism Iranian regime is behind these wars by organizing terrorist acts and interference in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Egypt, and even other countries in the region. And their case must be referred to the International Court of Justice at The Hague. My God bless both of our country, and through harmony between Yemen people and the Iranian resistance led by Maryam Rajavi, we will prevail together, inshallah. Thank you.
The next song, the next and final song that I will be performing for you today was actually composed and written by the Camp Ashraf residents who are now in Camp Liberty. And when they sent me this song, told me that it was a very special song because it was inspired by one of the Ashraf residents. Her name was Saba Hafbaradaran, and she was among the injured when the Iraqi forces attacked the camp. As she suffered from her wounds, she spoke of resisting, of persisting. Her final words, as she took her last breath, was that we will never give in. We will stand till the end. Stand in the wind, in the cold, through the rain. We walk through the storm as it rages away. In the dark of the night, our faith lights the way, while in our hearts all is one. We say we're standing till the end. Standing till the end. We banish the dark with the gleam of our eyes, with the beacon of hope. Our flame never dies. We challenge the odds with the sounds of our cries, and we waken the world with our sacrifice. We're standing till the end, standing till the end. With the hope, with the will, with the bond they'll never break, bring promise of freedom and the dawn of a brighter day. For the wish, for the dream that the chains will never hold. Our voices can be heard in every corner of the world. Standing till the end. Standing till the end. We stand in the wind, in the cold, through the rain. We walk through the storm as it rages away. In the dark of the night, our faith lights the way, while in our hearts all is one. We say we're standing till the end. We're standing till the end. Thank you. Thank you so much.